Hello all, this is Halloween, and if you love Halloween and costumes as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be showing you how to make some pretty awesome costumes without breaking the bank, maybe even using some items you already have at home. In today's episode, we will be recreating the very regal and refined, recently departed Queen of England, the one and only Queen Elizabeth. Let's get started. Today we are doing Queen Elizabeth, which she has a pretty iconic look, and for the most part, it's pretty much the same across the board. She's always matching from head to toe, pretty much. She does like to wear black shoes and a black purse, is what I've noticed most of the time. But she's always got the white gloves, a lot of times a quarter-length sleeve or a long sleeve. I bought this piece here at a secondhand store, and it's a real vintage. It had some damage on the inside, water, some kind of water stain or something, but it's on the inside, so what do I care? I bought it for a pretty good price. It looks very much like something the Queen would wear. I do wear a dress underneath. It's just a little paisley gold embellished dress, and then I have my grandmother's vintage, actual vintage jewelry here. It is a matching set. The necklace, the matching bracelet, and the matching earrings. And I have a hat. I think I bought this from like Bell's Outlet or something, and I spray painted it to match the dress. I have been Queen Elizabeth before, so I didn't catch that on footage for you. But it's kind of made out of a wicker, and it's easy to spray paint. You've got just your white curly wig that I already had as well. I bought the shoes. They were $5 at Goodwill, and the purse came from TJMax. And then, of course, I have these tights. It's a thigh-high control tight, like the old ladies wear, for when I did my Mrs. Doubtfire costume. And that's it. That's your Queen Elizabeth starter pack. So we'll go ahead and get started with our makeup. It's time to start doing our makeup for the Queen. I started to film this yesterday, and I'm doing this technique that I actually did. I've done the Queen before. It was a couple years back, and I had just saw this technique used by a YouTuber or somebody in a short clip where you can make wrinkles using Elmer's glue. Well, the first time I did this, I used the white glue, just like she said in the video. Yesterday, when I had gone out and bought what I needed, I went ahead and bought the clear glue because I thought, why not? You know, it's clear. It's probably even better. I was not correct. This doesn't work the same. It actually flakes off and peels very easily. You can't put makeup over it. So when you're doing this technique, you're not going to actually use a clear glue. It's formulated differently or something, and it is washable, so it's probably got a water base. You're going to want to use the Elmer's Glue All, the straight up white glue. And if you can see, I've done it on half my face just to see if it was me and not the glue that was the problem. But you can see on one side of my face, let's see. I'm going to lower these lights a little bit. If you can see, there are wrinkles. Real fine wrinkles when I scrunch this side that I've glued, and then on the other side it's just, 41-year-old skin. So we're going to go ahead and do this technique using the white Elmer's glue. You're going to apply a thin layer to your skin and just let it dry, and it is going to create a look like you've aged. It doesn't irritate my skin. I don't know if you have sensitive skin, if it will irritate your skin. I mean, typically, you don't usually use glue on your face, but you're kind of going to put it in all the areas that would be wrinkled in a very thin layer so that it will create that wrinkled effect. I even put it on my eyelids. I once again forgot to put in my contacts, so I'll have to go do that. So, I mean, use your own discretion when you're trying this technique. If you don't want to use the glue, you can always just draw on some fine lines and wrinkles. I would suggest using a brown pencil or something light in color. You don't want to use black or even gray. Just something that's going to kind of look like a real wrinkle, kind of blend with your own flesh tone. So I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna put my contact lenses in, and I'll be right back with you. It's just a very mild fine line wrinkle that it creates, but it looks amazing. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm taking my Ben Nye nose and scar wax, and I'm gonna reform my nose a little bit. Drives me nuts. I had this all done yesterday. The nose was perfect and everything, and then I had to just abort mission, and because I was so frustrated. I didn't have the glue I needed. I had to send my husband to the store for the right glue, and then by that time it was just time to make dinner. My regular wifely duties. So trust me, when it's dinner time, that's important. If I don't make dinner in a timely fashion, there's gonna be problems. He doesn't really cook. He claims that he does, but he won't. He doesn't want to. And I like cooking, so it kind of works out. He does the dishes, so it's kind of a fair trade, I guess. I've made it to where it's not too lit. If you've noticed, I do have a little bit of a glare on the sides of my camera, and I don't know where that's coming from because my lens is clean. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but whatever it is, I can't get rid of it. So maybe in the future I'll buy a new GoPro and that'll fix the problem. I have had this one for over a year now since I started doing this, and it's been through it. It's traveled with me, and I have cats, and the cat hair, I don't know how it gets everywhere. You know, I do love on my cats a lot, so that's probably how, but. So I've got a little bit of the Ben Nye nose and scar wax here. It is sticky, it's wax, so I'm gonna just try and reform just the tip of my nose a bit. She kind of has a bit of a hook nose. It goes down. I finished my nose, and I just added a little glue, little extra glue to some of the places that got a little messed up in the process. But you can kind of see how the wrinkles are just really fine. She wasn't really a very wrinkled up woman. She had pretty good skin. But she was like, you know, 90 something. 98 when she died, I think. She almost made it to 100. So she was pretty old, but she looked pretty good. I think the tea and crumpets are like the key to youth. So now that I got my wrinkles on there and drying, I'm gonna start doing my eyebrows. And she actually does have a bit of an arch in her eyebrows. Her eyebrows are brown, mine are brown. I'm probably gonna add in a little bit of white for effect, but they were kind of bushy. They're old school, you know? She's old school, the queen. I'm drawing a little bit of a thicker eyebrow there, and I'll go in with my white pencil and just add a few little white hairs in there. You can see when I raise my lid, the wrinkles that are created with the glue. I'm going to go in with my white pencil and just kind of just brushing over my real eyebrows. So it looks like there's some white in there. A little bit, not much. She actually didn't have a lot of white in her eyebrows. I think she did later, you know, when she got a little older. The picture I just looked at, she was probably in her 80s. We can be a combo of both. I do not look like the queen, okay? So, the costume is gonna say it all. You know, this is just doing the lines and wrinkles. It's just gonna add to it so that I don't look like a 41-year-old, hopefully. I look more like, you know, an older lady. This is me going in with my brown pencil to create the little wrinkles you would get here in your just there where your nose kind of crinkles up. Really just following my own wrinkles. And yeah, follow the wrinkles you already have. If you're in your 20s, you probably don't have any. So just think of where you smile when you make a face. Those wrinkles are going to show up for you, and you can just follow those lines. Just going to do my other eyebrow just the same as I did this one, and then as soon as this glue is dry, Sometimes I hate doing a costume again. It either turns out better than the first time I did it, or it's not as good as the first time I did it. You know? But I'm really trying to do it as good as I did it before. Like I said, I'm not going to show you to do something and have you do it wrong, you know, or me not feel good about it and then put it on camera for you to do at home. Everything I put on here for you is going to be all, I've already done the trial and error, and it's good to go. Okay, I got my eyebrows on. Now, I'm going to very carefully, I'm still waiting for some of this glue to dry up here, but I'm going to pat my foundation on. This is just a fair foundation. It's actually my favorite foundation. It's by CoverGirl. It's like 11 bucks at Walgreens or Kroger or whatever pharmacy you have, Walmart, and it's really good. I love it. I haven't even found like an expensive brand that I like as much. So why pay more if I can get what I really love for cheaper? It's the Olay Simply Ageless, as I'm trying to age 40 years. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? You will notice in some areas that it tries to peel off a little bit. It's just going to add to that wrinkle effect. Just real fine lines, fine wrinkles. That that's done, I'm going to go into my creases here with a brown pencil and just try not to peel off what I've got going on here. Like I said, you could just smile and see where those areas are. And then I'm going to powder what I've just done, and you'll even smell like an old lady. I'm using air spun, which is what my Meemaw always used. Well, really, anyone's Meemaw. If you haven't tried the air spun powder, if you don't have any, and you're missing your Meemaw, go and get you some air spun powder, and that'll take you way back. There's little areas where it did try to peel off a bit, but I'm not really worried about it. It's just gonna look like a piece of wrinkled skin, so you can see I'm starting to look old. Now here's the other kicker. Doing her makeup like the queen. She always wore a light eyeshadow, like even white, but really light eyeshadow, a pinky lipstick, and she had a pinky kind of blush and a little bit of mascara. And that was basically it. I'm gonna white line my eyes, just on the waterline. I'm gonna get my the lightest color in my palette here. And I'm gonna go with a matte. It's gonna be this peachy color right here. It's really light. White, peach, you know, just the lightest color in your palette should work. It's probably not even gonna really show up. I might add a little of this shimmer to it. Trying to be careful that I don't rub the makeup off or rub the the glue off. It will peel off if you're not ginger. Just taking my lightest color, mixing in a little shimmer. Now, I'm going to do a little blush. I'm choosing a pink color. So this right here, anything pinky you have. And we're just going to go right here, get that sort of English rosacea going. She's in England. And then I actually have this color I'm going to use, kind of like a mauve. her lips. And unlike when you normally apply your lipstick, this is an old lady. So I go just inside my natural lip line, just to kind of make it appear that my lips have receded. That looks good. And then we're gonna just add our mascara. After that, I'm gonna go get dressed and we'll take pictures. It is kind of peeling there, but it'll be good. It'll last you the night. Let's go get dressed. All dressed up and ready for photos. Now, I did start experiencing a little bit of peeling around just around my mouth area from the glue. A couple things you can do. You can cut off anything that's just peeled off. I used like a cuticle cutter thing. Not a cuticle cutter, but the little scissors that come in like a manicure set. I used that and cut off any excess glue. And then I just added some Spirit Gum Adhesive and glued it back. And that worked really well. Or just don't do the glue around your mouth, because you're going to be moving your mouth all night long. And it doesn't make a lot of difference anyway. So just focus on maybe your cheek area and around the eyes, and you'll be fine. But let's go take photos. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you enjoyed today's look. I hope I kind of did Queen Elizabeth some justice. She really was a refined and classic beauty. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. I appreciate it so much, and for those of you who already have, I am so grateful for you. You are what keeps me going every day. That does it for today's episode. I'll see you next time.